Hey guys, it's me, 80s more full forward today, guys. I'm back at it again for another Barcelona related video, guys. Today's game, guys, was a pretty interesting game. Valencia nil, Barcelona 1. Lewandowski yet again comes up clutch with a winning goal. And there's a lot to break down, man. There's a lot to break down here. So let me just say this right now as a disclaimer. I was not able to watch some parts of this game. I tried to watch as much as I could. It's just, I had to I was kind of busy for today. And so I watched the most I could. So if there's any major talking points, please let me know in the comment section below. Today I'll give you guys my summary of the. Today I'll give you guys my takeaways from the game. My first takeaway from this game is that Barcelona were somewhat fortuitous to have won this game. I think that's the first thing we need to admit here is that Barcelona fans, we have to admit, is that Barcelona kind of got lucky to win this game. I think we didn't really deserve to really quote unquote win the game, but at the end of the day, we got the job done. And as I said, Valencia defended very well. I think Valencia gave a really good game to Barcelona. I think they made things very difficult for Barcelona. And like I said, guys, this is a stadium that Barcelona just generally don't do very well in. And the fact of the matter is that Lewandowski came up right at the end to score that goal. And I think it just shows how much motivation Lewandowski has had, that he's going to do anything he can to score in La Liga. And I think it's showing how good he is, like how good of a striker he is. And as I said, I think the fact that Barca were able to get these wins under massive pressure is very impressive because, like I said, for every team that wins the title, there's going to be some games you're going to have to grind out those wins. Yes, it may not be pretty, but you get the win even when you're playing not so good. So I think this shows the true marks of a champion, that Barcelona will not give up in the very end, at least in La Liga. Now, unfortunately, Europe, that hasn't really translated very well, but at least in La Liga, Barcelona fight to the very end. Okay. My second talking point for this game is that Barcelona wingers is just very average. I'm sorry to say this, guys. I don't really like a lot of the Barcelona wingers this season. I don't think we've had a great winger consistently throughout the season. I know people are going to mention Dembele, and he's probably the best one we have, but even he doesn't really perform like that all the time. There are games where he can be so good. He can play like the best right winger in the world. He can play like Messi for some of the games. And the next thing you know, in the next game, he plays like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of a good example, like, maybe like Ferran Torres, like it's just so weird, like on and off. He's not consistent. Most of these wingers that we have are not very consistent, and that is my problem. Is that you talk about Rafinha in particular? He's been very disappointing this season. Ansu Fati, it's had some moments in here and there. We'll discuss. He had an okay performance today. Scored the offside goal. Should have scored that goal, or should have scored that big chance he had, I believe, in the 53rd minute, right after Valencia scored. Obviously, it was disallowed because of the handball. But yeah, for me, Barca wingers is just not it, man. Barca wingers is just not it. We need a reliable winger, man, and it's very unfortunate that it's very difficult for us to really do well without a proper wingers being consistent all the time. Maybe not all the time, but like consistent most games, and we don't really have anyone like that. Number three is that Xavi just loves Busquets. I think this game just is a great reminder that Xavi is just so he just loves Busquets so much. I don't know what the deal is, like I don't know what Xavi is doing. Like he just seems to can't bench him. And anytime even if he benches him, he's gonna give them some minutes. I don't think there's been a game this season we have not played. That is obviously because I think he was suspended against obviously Real Sociedad. But other than barring that game, I think every other game he has played at least 1 minute in, and even at times when he's come off the bench. I just don't know, man. I'm just really tired of seeing Busquets in the starting 11, and we have to move on because this will likely be his last year here at Barcelona. Sorry, last season, and it's very annoying to see Xavi continuously starting him, and it seems as though he doesn't want to change. And that's another thing I will get into with Xavi is that I feel like he's very stubborn. He's very stubborn. He's not willing to change, and part of me thinks that he's only starting Busquets because he has a captain leadership aspects. He's quote unquote our captain, and we don't really have anyone else in the team that is like a captain like he is. But in my personal opinion, I don't really believe he's really good captain. I think he's a great captain, like maybe like on the pitch, but off the pitch, man, I don't think he's a very good captain. And and I've said this before, like look at the words he said after the Inter game that this is gonna damage us mentally, like and not Dipsha, like he's like said so much like obvious statements that I just don't know, man. Busquets, man, I'm just done. I really am done with Busquets, and I don't know what's going to take for Xavi to bench Busquets. And we know Busquets is a player that hardly ever gets injured. Don't get me wrong, I still respect Busquets as a player. He's going to go down as an all-time legend. But There's a famous quote that I saw from somewhere that if you stay long enough at this club, even when you're not that great, you're gonna die as a villain. You know, you live long to stay as a hero, and I don't remember the exact quote, but it's like something like that, in which like it's clearly obviously I don't think Busquets will be as appreciated as Xavi Iniesta because he stayed longer than he probably should have. My fourth talking point from this game, fourth talking point, is Barcelona. They're gonna fight to the very end in La Liga. I think this shows that Barcelona will fight to the very last whistle in La Liga, and that they want to win the league this season. I think Barcelona will give it a very good challenge. I don't know if they'll win the league necessarily, but I think it's really, really very impressive that Barcelona did not drop points this season. The only game they dropped points was against Rayo Vallecano at home. That was the first game of the season, and obviously Real Madrid on the road, and we know what happened in that game. So, Barcelona have been pretty much flawless in the league, like flawless in the league, guys. Like only dropping 4 points this season out of a possible 12 games, I think, which is really, really impressive. And it just shows how Barcelona is going to give it their all to win this league. And we haven't won the league since 2019, I think. So we need to try to win this season. And that's where my benchmark is, my barometer is for Xavi. Is that if he doesn't win La Liga this season, I think we should ask massive questions about him, and perhaps he should be terminated. We should probably part ways with him because I do feel as though that there is no excuse to not win the league. Now, Champions League, I can understand. I knew we wouldn't do so well this season. I knew it was going to be round of 16 for us at the max, as we got that draw. But it is what it is. Obviously, we're not going to be in the Champions League round of 16 anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But regardless, man, the bigger point here is that Barcelona will put it to the very end of La Liga. And then the fifth talking point, guys, we have to talk about is injuries. The injuries, man. Eric Garcia and Jules Koundé, man. Eric Garcia and Jules Koundé. We're going to have a back line of Alonso and PK against Girona, assuming that Christensen will not be fit. And I don't know when will Christensen will be back because right now, man, the optics looking bad. Obviously, Araujo is going to be out for the remainder of this year. I think that the next time we'll be able to use him will be next year at the earliest. And obviously, we also have the likes, Jules Koundé, who is probably going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, and Eric Garcia probably the same thing too. So their season's probably done. They're probably not going to be playing more games this year, guys. If I'm being honest, because a lot of Liga season, we don't really have a lot of games coming up. So, as I said, it'll be very interesting to see what happens, and hopefully Barca can do this, and obviously, we'll see what happens there. So, I think that's going to be it for today for my match review. As I said, guys, obviously we got to talk about Lewandowski G'd up right at the end, scoring that goal. Rafinha getting the assist there, I believe, and it's a huge 3 points away the mistake, and you have to give credit to Valencia. Valencia put up a very, very good performance at home. They were defensively solid, and got to give them full marks, man, full of marks. But at the end of the day, Barcelona just had enough quality to win, and it's a huge, huge win, man. This win can mean a lot for us in the league race. So I want you guys to comment down below if there's any major talking points you have or any of your takeaways. Let me know in the comment section below because there probably is, and I just don't remember. Remember, guys, to like this video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're not here. Like this video if you did. Comment down below thoughts, comment section below. And I think it's me. Make sure you guys check out the platforms in the description below. And I think I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.